What's going on, everybody? We are 1 month later, back here 1 month later to talk about future stuff coming out. We got Dark Ages, Last Annihilation, Spider-Man Beyond. I think Marvel is the only thing anyone's doing anything because everything that I've listed so far is Marvel. But there's also like things that we're looking forward to, like Radiant Black, that's gonna continue its story. I mean, in DC, I'm sure there's something. Nope, that's I was gonna say Infinite Destinies, but that's also Marvel. Nick, you were saying Infinite Frontier. That's the DC
Frontier,
thing.
but also Fear State from
Fear
Batman.
State. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good
There's gonna
too.
be a crossover through the bad titles.
So we're just gonna talk about all these sorts of different things. We're gonna say welcome back to Vinyl Casket / Nick. It's been a while. He will leave a little bit, but at least he's here. We got the floating head Nuno. I talk comics, and then we got Carlos Trejo with Omni City Comics. But let's talk Dark Ages. Tom Taylor, what do you guys think? What's happening with that?
Everything he freaking writes is out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I have no idea what to expect. Even with everything that we've been shown, all these like new, who were you when it was dark? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
So look, I've been seeing a lot of complaints online, or even comments that this is just a rehash of Deceased, and that this isn't even going to be original. And I get where they're coming from in terms of in Elseworlds alternate kind of reality, and that it's the end of the world. But Deceased was more of a
It's Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, it was more like zombies, horror kind of thing. And from
like Marvel already did that first, so like
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what this seems like it's gonna be a dystopian future where, well, they've already said basically the power and like energy goes out in the world, and it's a result of the superhero community losing to some kind of villain, right? And from the preview images, like you mentioned, Manny, that we've seen, because the power went out, you see Iron Man's suit, and he looks super steampunk. More like mechanical. And if you look at Vision, he looks all beat up and like he's been put together.
Yeah.
Who knows? Possibly from Tony. So I don't think that it's
What is that Spider-Man suit? Look, it looks like one that already exists. The one is the last, whatever, the one with the buttons.
yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
but this one looks like, again, almost like it's some kind of steampunk, like armor plating kind of thing. I don't know what's going on, but the reason why I don't think that it's gonna be a rehash of Deceased, and the reason why I'm excited, is because I think that Tom Taylor has proven himself over and over that he's amazing at his.
He can write some alternate storylines
He
for
can
sure.
write anything, because you see, obviously he did Injustice, which is an
Yeah.
alternate thing, and he did Deceased, which is an alternate thing. But you look at his main titles he's doing now. Right now he's doing the main Nightwing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not.
Fantastic. And even his Batman, like future Batman thing, detective, is fantastic. Oh, don't.
I haven't read it, so I don't have anything to
It's
stand
good.
on.
I mean, look. Here's the thing. He excels not just in continuity type of storytelling, but also in alternate reality, Elseworlds type of stories.
My question for you, Carlos, is: do you think this is already done, or is it like because it's been teased for years? It feels like.
It's in 1 year. I mean, yeah, 1 year. I personally think that
My only thing that I'm afraid of with this event
delays.
is that Tom Taylor is overbooking himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Because
well, this is the thing. I mean, the only person that knows that is obviously him, right?
yeah,
And the fact that he's been working on this with Ivan Coelho for the last year, I don't think there's going to be any delays. I think that
and that's what I'm saying. I think most of this has to be done already.
yeah, I think that if anything, there's going to be some polishing. But the whole point that I'm trying to make, though, is that he excels at these kinds of stories, and the fact that it is an Elseworlds kind of story, dude, he has free reign to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and we've seen what he does with Injustice and with Disease. I'm ready.
It's kind of the Iron Man is like the 2099, because remember the 2099 has the things coming out of his back, like the kind of like steam
gears,
kind of
yeah.
Gears, yeah. Except this Iron Man doesn't look goofy as fuck. He actually looks.
I was gonna say right. He
You know what I mean?
weird.
So dude, he has free reign to just go crazy, and I can't wait. So, anyways,
It's gonna be
that's
good.
why I'm
Tom
excited.
Taylor's number one fan isn't here today. He's from Australia.
Yeah, he's too busy sleeping at the moment. Look at that guy.
But those are my thoughts on Dark Ages. I mean, Manny, how do you feel about it?
I feel
Having
like,
read, Disease.
I get the sense, like, I don't even care if it is Deceased. I don't care if it is a copy of something else, because even if it is a copy, it's gonna be something different, right?
Right.
But the way the whole ads of who were you when the lights were off or whatever, when it was dark, it tells, like, I feel like there's gonna be like some sense of power exchanges of maybe Spider-Man has some other people's powers or Iron Man has another person's power. I don't know. It's just because the who were you part, like, that just it's standing out to me.
So do you know what I'm thinking? Real
Yeah, what
quick?
do you think?
That because it is again the end of the world kind of thing, and in the preview that we saw back in, it was Free Comic Book Day, right? That we
Yeah,
first saw.
that was a while back. Yeah.
We see like Tony get fucked up, man. Like was it his leg that was like?
Yeah,
cut
he
off, or-
lost. I think he lost both his legs. He landed on, like, he was up in the air, and then he just fell
Yeah,
straight down. Like,
and
he should be
yeah,
dead.
of course, man. The whole who were you? I think that we might be seeing, in some instances, civilians taking up the mantle of the superheroes. Because again, it's like, who were you when the world ended?
Anyone else getting Noctera vibes from these like posters? Like,
Oh yeah,
when the
because
lights
it's
went
all
out?
dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
for sure.
great PM.
Exactly. But I don't know. That's just a theory that immediately popped into my head when I saw that tagline. Like, who were you?
Yeah.
But who knows, man?
I think Vision's gonna be evil because that poster was fucked.
Yeah, he's like a skull, right? Like he got a skull. Pretty
Yeah, he's
crazy.
got his like face ripped off and he looks pissed the fuck off.
Fucking Terminator, man.
Yeah.
You got fucking who was the other guy? I saw it was Vision, Apocalypse, and who was the other one? The black and green one. We not know?
The black. Are you talking about the big ass like?
Yeah.
Dude, that looks like a fucking almost like a deviant kind of celestial to me, man. I mean, who knows?
Oh yeah, that's a celestial. It says unknown celestial, the big green thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was Titanium Man for a second, but it says like unknown celestial.
Oh, it does say that? Okay, yeah, because I mean, it looked like
Honestly, I thought it was a Doombot. I was scared.
You're right. It had that green. I thought.
I'm like, oh god, what did Doctor Doom do?
No.
Yeah, but anyways,
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. But moving on, y'all want to talk about Spider-Man Beyond? I feel like that's the next big thing.
Oh my god. Yeah.
hey, take it away, Nick.
I see
Dude,
the
we're
Miles
getting-
cover with the
I don't know how
Captain
far it is. They've teased it is Ben Riley. We are getting Ben Riley back.
Yep.
Like with an updated costume, right?
Which I love.
Obviously-
I love the whole off-center on the
So,
chest. Like,
That costume is so in general, his Spider-Man costume,
He
like
bad.
not his Ben Riley Scarlet Spider costume,
calm
but his
down.
Spider-Man costume is very
Yeah.
iconic.
To me, it's the best and the only one that comes close to it. Or here, I'll say they trade places in terms of being like the best one. I'm gonna say it's gotta be Superior Spider-Man, man.
What?
Yeah, that's a really good
The
suit. And
symbiote
honestly,
spider suit. The
The
symbiote
dark
spider
red
suit
one?
is number
Dark red
one.
Black suit? Black suit?
Yes, black suit is
Oh,
number
no,
one.
No, hold on. That's something different because that's not even in the category of because nothing will ever
Okay.
reach the black suit spot. Like that's not
Okay.
even within. I see what you mean, but that's not even within a
Captain
discussion.
Universe Spider-Man is his cool suit.
It is, but
But if you're going with main colorway Spider-Man
Okay,
suit,
okay.
I count Superior because it replaces the blue with the black, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But and you look like the Superior suit kind of takes some details from Ben Riley's, right?
oh, definitely.
But when Ben Riley first came on the scene, obviously he had the Scarlet Spider, the hoodie, right? But when he becomes Spider-Man and he gets that costume, that was the first time there had been a different Spider-Man costume that still looked like it was Spider-Man. You know, it had
Yeah.
the same mask but different. It was the first real time you get
Within
that, right?
within main continuity.
Yeah, within
yeah.
main continuity. Obviously, you had cartoon shows, you had action figures, and all sorts of weird shit. But that was like the first time, and it's so iconic to the fact that when they did, was it MC2?
Yeah,
When they did MC2, they literally give Peter Parker's daughter, Mayday Parker,
That's-
they skip her. She goes in the act and finds Ben Riley's suit. Why did Peter have Ben Riley's suit? We'll never know.
It's probably because he killed him.
Or maybe
No,
he wasn't even Peter Parker.
No. Oh. Yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll
But
never know. Yeah.
also that future Parker, that Peter Parker is awesome with the goatee
Yeah.
and missing a leg or an arm.
I think he's just limping. I don't think he's actually missing any. Like,
No, I think he's missing something. He has like a robotic leg or arm.
it might be an arm. I just read it like 2 weeks ago. It might be an arm.
It's a great run. Both of
Just
them.
because.
Both
Hey, that Peter Parker's
amazing.
got a robotic arm, Carlos. Do you know?
Yeah, future Peter Parker in
Spider-Girl.
Spider-Girl. Is it an arm or a leg that he's missing? Or
Arm.
a hand?
Arm.
It is an arm.
and just because it's appropriate and we're talking about it, boom.
My local shop has
my
it.
comic
Hold on.
shop. So my comic shop
Quick
has
question.
that, right?
I didn't even think of it. If he's missing an arm, does that make him Cyborg Spider-Man?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's just a prosthetic,
So-
man.
So I'm pretty sure is that an actual issue of Spider Girl or is it what if?
It
No, no,
became.
so-
It became like.
Yeah, so this is the issue 0. It was what if, and then it was so popular
Mhm.
that it was turned into an actual ongoing series. So here's issue
Okay.
0 and issue number 1.
So that's that's the same cover as the what if, right? The
No,
first one.
it's a little different.
It's like super similar.
This one.
Is this one? So my comic shop I think has either that one or the what if, and I can't remember which one it is.
Gotcha.
But they have it, and I want it so bad. They still have it. They're charging $200.
It's expensive, man. It's expensive. I have the entire Spider Girl run, all of it, every
I
single
have
week.
I have the entire Amazing Spider Girl, the one that preceded it, the one that came out. They can't canceled it, and then they came back with Amazing.
Oh
Spider-Man.
yeah. You're right. Yes.
I was young. I was getting so I think my grandmother one year was like, "Oh, what do you want for birthday, whatever?" And she gave me a full year subscription to that. I was getting it in the mail.
Hell yeah. That's
Dude,
awesome.
that was awesome. And honestly, that was like a time period that I wish they would. I hope that like Beyond Spider-Man brings back Mayday because she's an incredible character.
Well,
I don't think it's going to because I feel like it's gonna follow along.
I mean, she's around. She's around, and she's part of the
Spider Verse.
yeah, of the whole Spider Verse, and she's working. She's been working with Anya in terms of like, protecting the web.
But I'm just saying with the tagline Beyond, which already you're stealing that from DC.
Yep.
They're also doing Infinite Destinies, which is stealing a tagline that DC's currently using. Like if you're gonna do Beyond, like I hope that the conclusion of whatever this event is gives us something, because right now there is no Spider-Man 2099 title, right? There's no ongoing story with him. There's nothing with MC2. There's nothing with her. Like, you have a lot of Spider characters, and only 4 of them have titles right now. Silk.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm okay with that because
when
imagine
that
if it was like X titles right now. Like it'd
Well-
be too much. It'd be way
Well,
too much.
Silk, and I mean Silk.
but they're their own characters with their own stories.
Yeah, I mean Silk is one issue away from her miniseries ending. Like, look, I'd be happy with like 5 Spider-Man titles, just because I feel that Amazing.
But I don't want them to do what they used to do, like 2010 when they were all just Peter Parker titles.
Right, exactly.
That was awful.
I want.
Sensational, friendly neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, ideally for me, I would love for it to be our Amazing Spider-Man, for Spider-Gwen to get another ongoing. I would love for Silk to get an ongoing, and the last title, so that, like Manny said, it doesn't become an X-Men kind of thing where it just, there's too many damn titles out there. I mean, obviously we gotta have Miles, but then the additional title, I would love an ongoing, kind of like when we had the Web Warriors, and we do one, that they do one that is the Order, and in there we can get Anya, we can get Mayday, we can get Peter Porker, all of them, and
what I was thinking,
Peter
in such similar fashion as that, you know what they're doing with Batman with Urban Legends? How you get 4 stories every month in one book. I think they should do something like that.
Right.
Or Spider book where you get 4 different characters every month, where you're getting 4 different stories. So instead of having to buy, 10 Spider books, you get, your main you get Gwen, you get Miles, and you get Peter. Obviously, Venom doesn't count, and because they're renumbering Venom.
They are, yeah.
What's back
I
to
wish they
zero?
would have just gone 36.
Well, back to zero, Nick.
Back to issue 1.
Oh, but same story.
It's gonna follow his son.
But you have to have read the other one to know exactly all the details.
Yeah.
I guess
yes
you
and
really
no.
only if you read 200 and you read like King in Black, you're caught up.
Yo,
Right.
real quick, I'm about to jump off. Let me back on because I'm gonna switch to my phone because my computer's dying and I don't got my charger. Be right back.
Is it the same Venom title that's gonna be like restarted?
Yeah, I don't know why they're renumbering it. I think it's kind of stupid.
Just
Because,
ask out
I
of
mean, it makes
curiosity.
sense. I mean, I
but
don't.
they keep renumbering it. Like we are only 35 issues in.
But
I
it
don't know
but
if
it
it's
makes sense to
changing the
renumber
theme.
this one because of what happened. I don't know if you've read it or not, but like I don't want to spoil it for you. But
Well, yeah. I read up to when Venom turns into like the Venom Knight or whatever, like the night.
Oh, Space Knight.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, that's a whole different thing. I don't want to spoil what's happening
No,
in Venom
not
200.
Space Knight. When he kills the main black the King in Black, he kills him and he turns like into like that angel
Oh, I
Venom
see.
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still one more
King in
issue.
Black.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read Black.
Did you read Venom 200 that came out last week?
No, I did not read it.
So
So
read
But
that.
tell me, what's
that it's not really giving it away, right?
yeah,
I mean,
story.
He became like a god. He's the King in Black, right?
That's
He
what it looked
mar-
like where I read from. He was like all
So
angelic.
He controls
Right.
the hive mind now.
He is the king of them. Okay.
Yeah, so he sits on like a throne and controls and can put his consciousness in every symbiote around the
everywhere.
entire galaxy.
So one important note on that though is that he doesn't actually control them per se, because remember he
They're
said that
allowing him.
Yeah.
exactly they're allowing him because in like the ultimate move he gave them their own basically control over themselves, autonomy,
Yeah.
but because
Freedom,
of what he
basically.
So
did-
he's like the Watcher
Exactly.
now, which is sick.
exactly kind of which is badass. I mean,
So
it's
now
badass.
he's the king of them. You learn that he's the king of them, sitting on the throne, and what happens?
Except the Venom symbiote is no longer a part of the hive.
right.
He's by himself.
It's by himself, and he follows his son around as like a dog, protecting his son. And
Okay.
now his son is Venom.
And
But look-
what does Venom? The suit. He's still in that golden suit
No,
No.
he just kind of sits on like a throne.
as Eddie.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
No, it's pretty badass to be
Yeah,
honest. I thought it was.
Not like some cosmic Ghost Rider shit right there.
Trust me, if you once you read it, you're gonna be like, this is sick. 'Cause
Issue
he's
200.
only-
Issue 200. You said
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, which is
35. Yeah.
35.
On it.
Issue 35, but it's Venom Legacy 200.
Alright, cool. And then we would assume that it starts off. The new one that you just said is you have a dog as the Venom
Nope.
watching over Eddie's son.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I mean,
technically.
who knows?
You know.
I like that that he became a dog and was following around the school.
What is he? A bulldog?
Uh,
basically,
I don't think so.
Yeah, Pitbull.
no, like yeah, Pitbull, Bulldog.
Yeah, Pitbull.
Yeah,
Oh,
something like.
I definitely got to read it then.
Do-
Is there any
do
spoilers?
you know who
on
Pitt
how-
is from Image Comics?
Huh?
You know who Pitt? I'm asking you.
Oh.
Do you know? Who
Yeah,
Pitt-
yeah.
Venom looks like Pitt now with the chains.
Oh,
Because the kid, his son was like, well, I grew up. He's like, what's with the chains? He's like, well, I grew up reading.
his
like-
imagination.
but he's like, I grew up reading comics and they always had chains. Literally, he's saying that he was inspired by Pitt to have the chains and the claws.
Yeah, I guess he's a big Todd Godfather fan, Todd McFarlane fan. Hey, that's cool though. So I gotta see that.
Yeah, but
Is there any
I
hints
really
on
think
what's gonna
that
happen?
like, what?
Any hints on what's gonna happen in this new Venom?
Yeah,
Well, we're
man.
gonna follow
Once
the
you read
kids,
it,
so we're-
you get all the hints.
What, the new one dropped?
Yeah, 200's been out.
Issue 1 hasn't dropped, but 200 basically leads into 1, which I wish they
it'll
would
set
remember
you
it.
up for the issue 1 that's coming out. All right, I'll read 200 for sure. I'll definitely.
But yeah, I think with Spider-Man Beyond, and obviously, you know, the next one is Infinite Destinies, which is the annual, right? The
Mhm.
annual event that they're doing.
Yeah.
They're bringing back Star, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, was supposed to come back since the very beginning, since the Secret War, not Secret Wars. What was it? The Infinity Wars.
Who
Yeah,
even knows anymore?
yeah. It's
You
Infinity
say
Wars.
5
It's,
words.
at the end of Infinity Wars. That's when Adam Warlock
Yep.
destroyed the Infinity Stones and put them in actual souls, and that's how
Exactly.
Star got her power. So we knew something was going to happen with her eventually.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, look, with bringing it back to Spider-Man Beyond and how we were mentioning that Ben Reilly is going to be back. Again, I've been seeing complaints online that this is just a rehash of stories that we've seen of the 90s and bringing back the clones, and people are upset that it seems like either Pete is gonna die or he's gonna stop being Spider-Man, or that this ongoing is just not even gonna follow him around, and people are upset because it's been years since we've seen actual growth in Peter, and I can see that point.
I
I mean,
hope-
yes.
No, you can go, Carlos. I thought you were.
No,
I thought you paused.
No, I was gonna say yes. There was the whole instance with Park Industries, and he became a billionaire, all of that stuff. But I feel like, as much as I enjoyed that storyline, they took it a little bit too far. With Peter being rich and all that stuff, and that's why Dan Slott brought it back to basically the beginning point. But he's been broke forever. The whole Peter and MJ relationship has been going in circles for years. So I understand what people's frustrations are, because I share a lot of those. But with a team like Zeb Wells, Kelly Thompson, and I hope that I pronounced his name correct, Saladin Ahmed, they're all top tier writers. And I think that I'm going to reserve judgment until I actually read some of the issues. If Pete dies, which I really don't think that they're going to do, if he ends up, I don't know, retiring, or he gives the mantle up to Ben Reilly, that's fine. Let's see what happens with Ben Reilly. I was extremely sad about the last Scarlet Spider volume, the way that it ended. I don't know if any of you read it, but he basically, after he adopted the Jackal persona and lost his damn mind, in that Scarlet Spider volume, he was fighting for his soul back. But the way that it ended, it was just super bizarre and jarring, and he ended up basically killing Kane, or it looked like he killed Kane. And then during Spider-Geddon, his mind was fixed. So there's just been a lot of convoluted mess going with Ben Reilly, and I'm hoping that we can
The Winter
still-
Soldier of Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah, right. And I'm
That's
hoping,
the Winter Soldier.
so I'm hoping that we can get back to a Ben Reilly like we originally knew, where he's in the right mindset.
Blonde Peter Parker.
Huh?
The blonde Peter Parker.
The blonde Peter Parker, and I also hope that we get more, and I hope that we get more Kane, man, because Kane's awesome.
Oh,
So
Kane's they
you know,
Spider Island fixed Kane, and then they went and they ruined him. All right, let me say this
Well-
because Twister brought it up, right? So obviously we're talking about Spider-Man Beyond. It's announced and it's coming, right? But leading into it, Spencer's doing one last hurrah, right? He's doing Sinister War.
Yeah.
So Sinister Wars is gonna lead into this new
Status
creative-
quo.
and we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens with it, right? I hope he does it well. I know he's sometimes notoriously bad for ending events.
Oh yeah.
So he could either mess this up and leave them with like a really shitty start point, or he can do the. I think Peter Parker's gonna be so broken from taking on all these villains at once because you have two Doc Ockses and two Electros and two this and two, you know, all these characters are coming back, right? In the last issue, we saw the one that just came out this week. You know,
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't.
Yeah, he hasn't read it.
it has nothing to do with action, but you get to see Kirk
Okay.
Connors for a little bit, right?
Okay.
And you get to see that he's doing well. That, you know, don't fuck that up. I know that all these villains are coming back. Let Kirk Connors have,
I mean,
have this
100%.
little bit of happiness.
No, 100%. Someone's gonna take his inhibitor chip off. It's gonna happen.
He was just talking that he has a new one, so that's why I'm scared.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But, like-
it has to happen. If he's gonna be part of the Sinister War, he cannot be
But also,
aggressive
they're doing
without
a lot,
it.
he's doing a lot of shit with Peter Parker's sister.
Yeah,
Which I love.
I don't think that's
So-
gonna come onto
So
play.
I'm pretty sure, like, you have a lot of characters that are now being, like, from the last arc to now, are being forced into it. And based off a lot of the cover work, obviously, who's Harry now? What's his name?
Kindred.
Kindred.
Kindred's going to play a big role in this event. All these villains are going to play a big role in this event. You have a lot, his sister, a lot of stuff, and we know that Ben Riley's coming back. So something
thinking-
big is going to happen
I'm
at the end of
thinking
Sinister
that-
War, and I think it's going to break Peter.
Well, I'm thinking that it's just gonna reveal to him what happened with Mephisto, and that's, like you said, gonna break him. And most likely, he's just gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? I need a break. I need to finish college."
You also have the stuff that we haven't teased in a while is what is MJ doing with Mysterio?
Right. So he's gonna finish college, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna take a step back. Ben, can you take over for a bit? Because
And I think they're
we-
gonna have a kid.
Look,
Mm,
Mayday.
it won't be Mayday.
I just want one thing. Like, honestly, one thing, and I've been asking for this for forever, and it's that at the end, the only thing that I'm asking of from Spencer, if Sinister War doesn't end well, if the whole Kindred thing isn't resolved and it goes on for another 5 years, fuck it. Whatever, man. At this point, the only thing that I care about is that at the end of his run, Peter not only proposes to MJ, but if he does, I want it to be where it's kind of like
I'm giving up Spider-Man.
we should be not maybe for a bit, but it's like we've been waiting forever. Like, he proposes, let's get married, and they get married, and not he proposes and then we're gonna go another 58 issues, 60 issues with their wedding, being planned like that.
That could explain why Ben takes
Peter
over.
Parker becomes Madam Web.
They go on a honeymoon and shit, and so someone needs to stay behind. Ben is there, so.
I thought
Who
when I
knows?
first,
But that's what.
my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say when I heard the Spider-Man Beyond title for the first time when I was reading online, I thought they were gonna do like the Spider-Man Unlimited when he has the like techno suit and stuff. Like, and I was excited, man. But I don't know, I don't think so because they don't really translate that too well on comic book, I guess. But that was just my thought when I first heard it. I was like, oh man, maybe it's something like in the future and like high evolutionary. That'd be dope, but it doesn't sound like it. I was just gonna say.
The reason why it's called, or actually, we don't even know if it's really going to be called Spider-Man Beyond. But the hashtag and the tagline is because apparently Ben Riley's going to be working with the Beyond Corporation, and the Beyond Corporation has been like popping up. And I'm going to be completely honest, I know nothing about this Beyond Corporation really. But
I just want Kane Parker back. That's all I want out of this. Is I want civilian Spider-Man. I want civilian Peter Parker living his life with MJ. I want Kane and Ben to try to take on the mantle and have a hard time. They need freaking Miles' help, and Peter Parker ends up in like an Oracle position.
That would suck.
Hey, beyond,
Where
beyond.
he's like, I have to take care of my family. Like, I need to protect MJ. I need to do this for me. Like, I lost my roommates. I want Boomerang to come back to being a good guy.
He's not going to.
See, the
Dude, he
Beyond
was so
Corporation-
good. Like, that was the best thing that Nick Spencer's given us was Boomerang.
Boomerang was annoying. I'm not gonna agree with that at all. I
What?
hated him.
So
I hated him the whole
funny.
time.
And he feels so bad. He's sitting in this bar with all these villains, and he's like, "Wait, did I fuck up?"
I started liking him in the last issue, and then he did his shit, and I was like, oh, okay, well that's why I didn't like him. So, like, yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. That's my number one out of this whole thing, man. Is just fucking let Peter and MJ finally get married, so that you know what, so that every Spider-Man fan can finally move past one more day. I mean, that is an absolute stain on the history of Spider-Man, more so than anything else. And it's personally, I think it's time that gets cleaned up, it gets undone, and that there's a good concrete resolution to that.
I feel like that's what
and
a
if
lot of people have wanted. I feel like that's since Spencer's run started. That's what people have been expecting is for the one
Exactly.
more day to be over. Like,
Exactly, and that's all that I'm really asking, of him, that he stick the landing on. It's that, because he opened his issue with that hope for us, right? And he's been alluding to the fact that Peter wants to propose to her, and that they want to get married. And if that is not the payoff to this is going to be worse than Batman and Catwoman when that first went down with the wedding, and that was
You know what?
that was a fucking disaster.
Who?
And
I really, you know what? There's so many appearances of Spider-Man recently in other books where he's written so much fucking better than what Spencer's doing, and it's painful in Venom and King in Black. The way Spider-Man was written made me want to take Spencer by the fucking neck and wring him out. Because
Well,
I'm like,
dude-
why
Well,
can't
dude-
you write him like this?
Well, dude, that's why everyone was, clamoring for Donny Cates to, be the next writer. I mean, I'm sure that everybody wanted it. But again, I have full faith in Zach Wells, Kelly Thompson.
I do too, and I'm happy about
but I'm
that.
also a little scared because that's is it what 3 or 4 writers, and
3 writers.
are they going to be writing at the same time? Is it going to be like I'll do issue 1, I'll do issue 2,
So,
and I'll do issue 3?
Yeah. So the way that it's gonna be, and this is most likely the way that it's gonna be, is that it's gonna go back to old school Spider-Man, where it's a rotating team and they all work on the stories, but each other issue or 2 to 3 issue arc is gonna be written by one of the writers. And also, I saw on Twitter, we're all thinking that Patrick Gleason is gonna be like the artist, and he might very well be, but he announced that he's also gonna be partaking in the writing duties.
Wow.
So yeah, you're right. 4 writers.
I just that scares me a little bit, just because maybe I'll like one writer
You know
a lot
what?
more, and then
I
things
think They're
happen.
doing it because so many people have been complaining about Nick Spencer that these guys are like, okay, because if one person's writing like 2 issues right in a row, those other writers can act as editors, making
Right.
sure that no mistake. Oh, I would do this instead. As like a
Right.
hive mind collective, because. Right now, Spider-Man's so popular with the movies, and everyone is waiting to see what the next move is. They're doing a big event, Marvel, in my opinion, I know this. Our friend Matt would be like, "Oh, Marvel's so great right now." Marvel's kind of shit right now, comic-wise, in my opinion. There's
Depends on what.
a lot of stuff going on at once that doesn't really like. They're
Sure.
throwing a lot of darts at the wall and hoping that they stick.
Hey, real quick though, the Beyond Corporation, Carlos, according to Marvel database, is a collective of beings who embody the wild space beyond reality, while the other entities from the outside want to study and even preserve the multi-population. The Beyond Corporation care only to play with them and have fun.
I have no idea what any of that means,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to find out more.
Beyond Corporation, and it's run by Devil Dinosaur, formerly.
What?
By Devil Dinosaur.
What the fuck?
This
Form-
sounds insane. I have no idea what's going on.
This
but
I know you probably can't see it, but it's the same logo.
Yeah. that's interesting.
That's
One thing we
Marvel database. That's Marvel fandom, basically. What it says on the info on the agency that you were asking about.
one thing that we haven't touched on though is the fact that people are saying that Peter's gonna die or anything. I don't think he's gonna die. I don't think he's gonna be gone or be completely done with it because we still have nonstop Spider-Man as an ongoing that hasn't been canceled yet, has it?
Yeah, but that happens in
That's
like a different time period. Right?
I don't know,
No.
man. It
No.
seems like it's
No, no.
going around the same
Is it
time.
earlier?
No,
Is it
no,
like
no.
towards like his freshman year of college?
No.
No. It's going on right now.
Simultaneously.
No, but it's happening at the same time as this.
Yeah.
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 Like in continuity,
Yes,
it doesn't
because
feel like that at all.
yes, because he even mentions how he's back, in school trying to get his and finish his degree, and how he's made friends, and even mentions MJ being away. I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
He does.
yeah, all that stuff. No, it's taking place like in the same time span.
Yeah. It might be off by like
I
a
hope
week or
nonstop
two.
Spider-Man's all
Sure.
about Kane. Nonstop Spider-Man becomes all about Kane. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man's all about Ben.
I would accept that. I would.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that because we're older and like we lived through the '90s, we're more like, okay, like that's cool. Like we want the clones, but other people that are new, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if you write Ben, like obviously, like Kane Parker's Scarlet Spider run was great,
Absolutely.
and Ben Riley has had his '90s Spider-Man run was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
There's 2 omnibus for it. Like it's great. All right, so we've talked about Spider-Man a lot.
Yeah. I
I'm
was
gonna
about to
run
say.
down
Moving on.
some things that I'm personally excited about that are coming out. Like not really they don't even have to be events, but like obviously, and we can talk about. There's one I want to talk about. I want to just get this out here before like I have to go, if I have to go soon. But obviously, Defenders issue 1's coming out, which looks interesting. You have I Am Batman. Tom Taylor's Superman Son of Kal-El is coming out finally.
Yeah.
That
That finally convinced me. I wasn't gonna get it, but then I finally put it back in my pull list. So I was like,
looks great.
the art is what convinced me. Honestly, the
There's going to
covers.
be a mini series called Blue and Gold for Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Last Annihilation, which is an event for Marvel that's happening.
Yeah.
Superman and the Authority.
The whole future state
Something,
stuff, I could care less about. Couldn't care less.
I'm gonna pick it up like I did Checkmate. Checkmate came out this week. It was pretty good.
Was it? Okay. The Checkmate was actually mentioned by Green Arrow in this week's Justice League. So
Oh really?
yeah, just a
He's
quick.
a part of it.
Yeah, it was just quick of like, yeah, he's basically Batman was asking him about the finances from the Justice League because obviously Batman as a millionaire can no longer pay for Justice League's finances, so Green Arrow took over.
And
And
Nightwing's now the leader of the.
basically, that's what that means if you're going by money.
So you also got Trial of Magneto. What else? There's going to be a Cable Reloaded series that's going to start off being part of Last Annihilation, which they're ending Cable and then bringing back Old Man Cable.
Yep.
But he has Young Cable's sword.
So I don't
Darkhawk
read.
issue 1, which I think is going to come out of Last Annihilation.
Maybe.
It's gonna it has to. He's a cosmic character now.
I'm digging the new suit, man. I'm digging the new
Dude, it
suit.
looks incredible.
Digging the new
But
suit.
like the suit that he was wearing in, read the one shot, right?
Yeah.
The suit in the last story of the one shot looked great, and that's what it looks inspired by. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited. What else? Because I know they're bringing back Onslaught. Fear State looks really cool. Extreme Carnage. I'm only gonna get the Alpha, the Omega, and I think the Toxin.
Gotcha.
I think
Fear State. Is there
Aquaman
anything
getting
else?
80th Anniversary 100-pager.
Is there anything else happening with Fear State other than what you just mentioned?
Fear State is gonna be there's an Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
There is gonna go through. I think it's a couple Batman titles. Batman. it's gonna be Catwoman,
Nightwing.
Okay.
Nightwing.
Yeah, I plan on collecting everything through that just because
Yeah.
Batman doesn't really have.
We
these
talked
events.
about Titans United.
Yeah, I remember now that you
The
said that.
7-issue miniseries.
It goes
It
with
looks
the
like
show,
it's
so I
kind
don't
of-
care.
It looks like it's gonna be to promote the show
Yeah, like you said, yeah.
because there's no Cyborg.
But it has Red Hood. It has
It has Red Hood and it has Hawk and Dove.
yeah.
So like clearly you're showing me that that's gonna that's the lineup from the show.
Mm,
I Am Batman. I talked about so you're getting Harley Quinn the animated series, the Eat Bang Kill Tour.
So I'm actually getting that, and you know what? For the longest time, I hadn't watched the show because I'll be honest, I thought it was just gonna be dumb.
wrong.
And what was it? I was just hanging out at home, and I literally had nothing to watch.
Oh, we
And
know you love the freaking show.
dude, and I popped up HBO, and it's the first thing that like was recommended because I've been watching a couple other DC animated movies and shows, and I'm like, whatever, and I just put it on because I just really didn't care. I put it on, and within the first 5 minutes, dude, I was on my ass
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah,
It was I was like,
This-
how
this one looks
how-
like it's drawn in that like
it is,
Adventure Continue style.
it is.
So I'm hoping it keeps those show like aspects whilst keeping the artwork.
Yeah, for sure. Because, dude, like, and I thought the first episode when I was done, I was like, this is a fluke. This is a fluke. Let's watch episode 2. And before I knew it, I went down the rabbit hole, and every episode gets better.
yeah.
So,
Every
Yeah.
episode.
so I'm
The
absolutely
popularity of the show
going to
has
like that.
inspired King Shark. He's getting his own limited run.
Dude,
Suicide Squad King Shark.
I'm down.
Batman Urban Legends is bringing future stories, reintroducing Batman Beyond.
oh, that's cool.
There's gonna be a new Aquaman: The Becoming, issue 1, and on the cover is Aqualad. So it looks like he's gonna become Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman is a new father now, I guess, so he may be wanting to step down.
We have the death of Doctor Strange, which we talked about.
Oh, I want to talk about that for a bit, man. Because, oh, good.
I just want to finish this up, and then we can go back and talk. About it.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to get it all out off my chest. I said King Shark, the new X-Men series starting with issue 1, Onslaught, Revelation. I know you guys didn't talk. You guys haven't been reading Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't plan on it, right? You guys aren't reading The Last Annihilation. Is it Ego the Planet?
Ego the Planet?
Ego the Planet got a bunch of scrolls, did some fire cult shit, and sacrificed themselves, and it got covered in a black like shell, and it just broke open, and the planet became a giant floating Dormammu head.
Oh,
And
dude, I saw something about that they merged or some bullshit like that, right?
Yeah, it became an egg, it cracked, and now the planet is just Dormammu's head floating. It screams, "I am Dormammu!" And that is Last Annihilation. It's a
Interesting.
giant space Dormammu head.
Didn't we already see that in the
Don't know
Doctor Strange
what the hell
movie?
they're doing. But I'm really excited for all these. There's so many new titles. Like I'm trying to get through them all. Darkhold is going to be a series that comes out. Darkhold.
Finally.
That's an event,
Finally.
right? Deathstroke Inc. We talked about ourselves. Inferno is getting its own limited series. It's going to be an event. And that goes up, and I'm right here. I see Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 75. The cover has the new Ben Reilly suit on it. So I'm assuming by then he takes over the Amazing Spider-Man title. And then the other book that comes out this is October, because that's how far I'm up to, is October, is Are You Afraid of Darkseid issue 1, and that looks sick.
Isn't Darkseid the main bad in Infinite Frontier though?
So he's on all the covers. So I'm assuming, but this looks like a series because it's very like chibi. It looks like the Teen Titans, and it's like it's like Robin with like a flashlight over his face, like telling his camp story, and Darkseid's behind them.
That looks like it might be interesting. I might need to see that later. I haven't seen that yet. But
And
going back to the death
that's
of
all I got. But what do you want to talk about, Carlos?
death of Doctor Strange.
Death of
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that, dude, I could sit here and want to talk for hours, man, about everything that's coming out. But one of the ones that I do want to touch on is Death of Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's another, death story. Oh my God, superhero's gonna, die, and like always, people are gonna brush it off and say he'll be back in 6 months, he'll be back in a year, nothing matters. But that's comics, man. And what I'm excited about is hopefully seeing either Illyana or Wanda taking over the mantle of.
It's not happening. Neither of them.
So, if you guys don't know who Illyana is, that's Magic from the X-Men.
Yeah.
I would love to see both of them, right? I agree with you. I would love to see both of them, but here's my thing, right? They've been teasing this. It's got to be Captain Marvel because they've been teasing it so much, and because there's a giant floating Dormammu head in space. They're using Captain Marvel to connect Doctor Strange to space.
I see your logic, but
and because it's gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy, which have so many Captain Marvel related characters. You got Phyla-Vell, you got Quasar, both Quasars, male and female Quasars, like go like this and they change. You got Marvel Boy. I still can't believe Hercules is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a little weird for me, but but like you have all these like
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel related characters in this event, and then you put Dormammu, who is a Doctor Strange villain, right? And you put him in the mix. You're gonna have, and you already have Stephen Strange in his own title dealing with Captain Marvel. The next thing they do, and also they have a Cable Reloaded thing, so then you could bring in Magic into that, because you already have an X-Men tie right there. I definitely think with Darkhold and Death of Doctor Strange, I really do think that Wanda and Magic is going to be involved, but I don't know why would you put Carol so involved with that if you weren't you know what I'm saying?
Here, look, this is the thing. I don't see that happening because yes, Carol is dealing with Magic right now in her own title, and she's trying to do this so that she could take on O. But her jumping from her just beginning to learn Magic, and then by August that this title is coming out, for us to make that leap that she's gonna become the Sorcerer Supreme and get ahead of either Wanda or Illyana or even Wiccan, I just don't see that happening, man.
Let's be honest here. Wanda is mentally unstable. Wanda is literally in this last one of these issues of freaking X-Men that came out this week. I don't know which X book it was. She literally goes up to Magneto, and she was like, "I couldn't go to the party. I didn't want to face them all." If she can't face the people she's known most of her adult life, then she can't be the Sorcerer Supreme. But she can't even face her friends and family. How is she going to take on the responsibility of being Sorcerer Supreme if she can't even own up for the shit she did in that last event that happened with the Kree Skull bullshit with those fucking plant aliens? She literally brought back. She was so fucked up that she literally tried to bring the island back, the other island, back, and brought back a bunch of zombie mutants.
But this is the thing, though.
She does not have the responsibility or the mental stability to do it. I think power wise, fuck yeah, she's got it. But letting her be the Sorcerer Supreme is just asking for some fucked up shit to happen. And I know Marvel probably wants to do that on purpose, just so they can get an event out of it. But Magic, I do think, would be the better option.
Of course.
She's definitely more responsible. But here's the thing. One of them then has to take over the school.
No.
Yeah. Whoever doesn't become Sorcerer Supreme, I feel like needs to take over.
That. Okay, gotcha.
Strange Academy.
Sure.
And I don't trust Wanda with kids.
She's in the school at the moment.
Yes, but she's not in charge.
Yeah, but she is in charge of her classes.
But Nick, this is the thing.
She definitely can't be Sorcerer Supreme and in charge of kids, because then you're just gonna kill every single one of those characters because she's not stable.
Sure, but it's not that complicated. Like, look, Steven is the Sorcerer Supreme, and he founded the school. He's doing both things at the same time.
Yes,
so
she's mentally stable.
Sure.
She also has a certain.
I'm not talking about Wanda anymore. I'm not talking about Wanda anymore. Now I'm talking about Illyana.
I think she could do it, but I feel like she's too young to have all that responsibility. I think
hold on, Nick. Let Carlos finish his thought.
So, this is the thing. Illyana has already basically been an extremely important part of running the school, and mentoring a bunch of young mutants. It's perfectly within her ability, after so much time, for her to be able to be in charge of the school and also take on the title of being the Sorcerer Supreme. She's been wanting to take on, not take on, but she's been wanting to train with Doctor Strange for the longest time. And we even get this scene during the gala where she mentions to him, hey, like, you know, it's almost hinted at that she wants to do some kind of training with him. Now, if it's not Illyana, it could definitely very well be Wiccan.
My problem is that all these characters, I agree with you, but in the last year or so, they've used all these characters so much and given them so much character building and connection to other stuff that to do this you have to tear it away, and I feel like that's so convoluted.
Okay, so here, very simple.
I agree with you. I think.
Who are you putting?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying. Well, if it's Wiccan, then that stuff that they did with that whole event and with him and Hulkling, you're not pulling them away from that. And then all the stuff, the entire New Mutant title is basically made Magic is basically teaching all the youth of the island how to do everything. She is the one. Everybody else is just kind of following her. And she's doing the school, and Strange Cat, she's got a lot on her plate. If you just put her in the Magic stuff, I feel like they're probably just gonna put her around everywhere. But logistically, if you think about it, that's a lot. That's a lot. Wanda is unstable, but it's probably gonna be Wanda. It's the Darkhold, and because it was mentioned in the show, I think it's gonna be Wanda.
Yeah, but you also have sound logic with Captain Marvel.
Because they're doing a Darkhold event and a Death of Doctor Strange around the same time, I have a feeling that that's just a tease right there. Right? You gotta.
There is someone y'all are forgetting about that is just very small and in the background, but has been somewhat teased. I feel like it'd be a pretty good, out of nowhere choice, but Zelma Brock, the librarian for Doctor Strange.
Oh, interesting.
She's been there, learning from Doctor Strange. She's helping run the school. She's just little by little, and she's got an affinity for it.
To do it. I feel like we all just want some OP person, but you know what? It makes more sense to make someone that's well established in that community, but doesn't have all the responsibility yet. Take it on so that they're not overwhelmed. Because I can only imagine how much if it's Stephen Strange wasn't Stephen Strange, how overwhelmed he would be.
Right.
A world-class surgeon that was used to the pressure
Okay, so then, based on this logic, because basically everybody that we mentioned would be too overwhelmed. So then, who would you put all of your money on then?
I don't want it to be. I think clone conspiracy. I think that he gets a clone. He's got blonde hair.
Get out of here.
I'm
he
just
doesn't
saying-
have an answer. That's his answer. He
That's
doesn't have
the
one.
answer. Everything can be solved with Spider-Man plots.
Nick,
I know. I believe.
who is it?
I
That'll
think
make logical sense that this person's not overwhelmed, that they're not going to be pulled from another title because, like you mentioned, it will destroy all the other titles. That is powerful enough, and that has been shown to be a magic user.
I think the obvious answer is Ileana. I think. I want to see it, but at the same time, I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So then, who, Nick? Who is going to be?
I would want, if I had to pick someone, it would be Ileana.
I know, but you just argued against that it doesn't make sense.
No, because
So
I'm
who would
an
make
X-Men fanboy. Part of me is like, oh, don't take her from the Xbox. But like, I would
Right.
think her to fulfill her most potential, that would be the logical choice and would be the coolest thing to see. Because
That's what you said, but you said that it wouldn't make sense.
Like, there's a part of me that doesn't want that, but there's also
Okay,
a part of me that really wants that.
Nick, so then against everyone that you argued, who then would make sense? Because still,
No, I'm saying you're right. I've been saying you're right. I'm just saying that, like, I would hate to see her be pulled away, but at the same time, I want to see her be a demonic fucking, like.
Nick's choice is Mephisto, of course, obviously.
All right,
Of
That's
course.
guys,
always
I gotta
that's
go.
always Nick's choice.
It's Mephisto.
Yes.
I gotta go. Thank you guys.
Alright.
It's been a pleasure being back.
I'll see you guys.
Nick.
See you next week.
Yes.
To finish this off, though, I would say, do you want to talk about Radiant Black at all? Do you want to talk about any kind of theories that you have?
I do. Absolutely. Kick it off, man. Kick it off.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. Like, I know that it's gonna be Power Rangers, honestly, right? I am surprised that we got this old man in power. Like, he seems like he's gonna be obviously the person that's gonna be holding them back throughout fights. Just like, I'm a little tired. You guys go ahead, go on.
Oh, come on, man.
Go ahead, man. He's old. He's got the white hair and everything. Come on,
Bro, he's got a radiant suit on.
That's true, but I don't know. Something about him, it says that he's gonna hold back. I like the portals that the Pink Girls was doing. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellow, we don't know the black guy, the old black guy. Well, we don't know his power yet, but he said I used my power across the spectrum.
The spectrum.
So that was like, well, what do you mean by that, man? Like, what are you talking about? We got Red, who does like the energy absorption, matter absorption. We're gonna get her backstory, so I'm not looking forward to it. So you don't read manga or anything, so I watch One Piece, and I love One Piece, but One Piece is known for so many backstories. You hate this person, this character, you're gonna love them after his backstory or after her backstory, because everyone gets a backstory. So
Okay.
I'm tired of backstories, but it is what it is. You got to give them some time. And then now that we're getting more Radiance, I don't see how they're gonna connect to Dragon Girl Red.
Well, this is the thing. Based on what's mentioned, if she is brought into this world, I mean, it's two whole different things, right? Because the Radiance have to do with like space and the cosmos and all of that stuff, and Dragon Girl Red's powers are derived from magic, not from like outer space, like robot kind of stuff. And also, her story takes place in England, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. It's been a while since I read the review
On Dragon Girl.
Yeah.
The review,
like not the review, but like the preview. Preview, my bad.
Oh, the preview. Yeah. But yeah, her story takes place in England. I'm pretty sure. But again, also it's like magic, so it could just be an instance of these two worlds colliding. I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, because we also got, so we could do like the portal. The girl, she does portals into other universes. But at the end of number 5, Radiant, we got that whole preview for that other storyline. I feel like it was weird because they didn't announce it. They didn't give a name. I wonder if it's gonna connect.
No, it doesn't.
No?
This is something completely. They're giving the back page to tell a story that's by these other writers, and it's just like a backup feature, but it has nothing to do with the world of Radiant Black. Yeah, no.
No. Go ahead.
No, but like as far as theories, I mean, of course, like the first thing that we think about is Power Rangers, right? But I truly think that at the end of or in issue 5, when that one being, we don't know what he or she or it is called yet, but the bad guy with the sword, right?
Yeah.
At the end, they mentioned that they've been hunting, the Radiants across the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that very soon we're gonna go cosmic, and we're gonna go into space, and we're gonna get a backstory as far as where obviously where these Radiants come from, and I think that we're gonna travel to different worlds. I think that it's gonna get intergalactic as fuck, and that personally it excites me.
I'm a little confused though because Existence keeps saying Radiant is coming, right?
Right.
So is that the bad guy, Radiant, or because you keep calling everybody else Radiance, And,
yeah.
But I don't think. And on another part is like how lucky did Marshall get in calling it Radiant Black? Like it's too many coincidences going on here.
Right. Right. I mean, who knows, man? I do also think that there's going to be some kind of potential time travel, maybe, just from those are like a lot of theories.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I'm also excited for is to see if all of the different Radiants, as what we're calling them right now, if they all have their own version of like the robot.
Oh,
right?
100%, I bet. Oh well. I don't know. That
would
be
right?
2 Power Rangers, I guess. I feel like maybe that'd be like crossing the line of
maybe, but honestly, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It'd be dope, and also like, what is the background of when we see Nathan go into the, I don't know, we'll call it the existence, type of like
existence plane.
Huh?
The plane of existence.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, like, that there's almost like a destroyed like planet or something, and there's like shit looks messed up.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what that's all about. If there's like some kind of war that went on, I don't know, man. But
it kind of gives you the Transformers kind of vibe of like the cube and blah blah. And I don't really mess with Transformers, so all I'm talking about is like stuff from the movies, Michael Bay and all that. But what you were just saying right now, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, for sure. And then we see the image, right, of like this meteor or whatever you want to call it that like is arriving on Earth, and then it splits off.
Yeah.
Into all of the different colors. So it's like, why Earth? You know what I mean? Like what is it searching for? And the reason why I think that we're gonna go intergalactic is because since this bad guy has been like hunting these Radiants across the universe, humans can't be the first ones that have worn these suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't think so. So I just think that this world is just gonna expand and it's just gonna become huge, man.
It's funny that you say that because I just noticed on Netflix that the newest season of Power Rangers came out, Dino Fury, and I was just watching the preview, and the Red Ranger is actually an alien. He's got these antennas and stuff, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, so the last few seasons of Power Rangers have been kind of they've been missing, obviously these are all like children's shows and all that stuff, but they just been kind of missing. But now we got this, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, that the fact that you're talking about Radiant being like you could have been an alien being as well.
Yeah,
It's like,
man.
that makes sense. That
Yeah, I mean, because when it's kind of like when I really am getting Invincible vibes from this, and that's why um, uh, the whole promotion of this is, if you loved Invincible, like this is for you.
Right.
Because when you first start, with Invincible, you don't really think that shit's gonna get cosmic, or that you're gonna start, talking about different planets and all of this stuff, even though you know that Omni-Man is of Ultraman, and that he comes from a different planet. Dude, like Invincible gets it gets cosmic as shit, right? Before you know it, like you're on Mars, you got visiting aliens, all of this stuff, and the world slowly starts to just expand. And I think that's what's gonna happen with Radiant Black. I hope that happens with Radiant Black. But it's just been phenomenal, man, and I can't wait for issue 5, 6, 7, 8, all of that stuff. So
yeah, well, we can talk about it more next week, because next week is our comic talk week. So
Absolutely.
we have a bunch of comics to talk about. I definitely want to talk about Justice League, just because it's got Bendis on it and I'm liking it. Like it's ridiculous. And we got Teen Titans Academy, Suicide Squad. There's a lot of comics coming out, and it's
So much
a lot of
stuff.
good So we'll talk about that next week.
For sure,
Do you have anything else you want to say?
man. Like I said, we could go on for hours, man. But I think that's pretty much the stuff that I want to cover. There's a lot of indie titles that are coming out, but we'll touch more on those as they get closer.
So we do have somebody in the chat that is saying that they watched Power Rangers as a kid, and they just didn't like it. The fighting scenes changed, and they just couldn't get into it. And I'm telling them they need to change that. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. But it's a children's show now, so I don't know how old you are, but it's probably gonna miss. So, but you should. You know what? Talking about next week, check us out, and we'll be sure to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the whole Boom Studios that they're doing, the whole run that they're doing on Boom Studios, because it's a lot better in the comic book form than it is in the show form.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic.
So we'll make sure to add that to the list of things we talk about next week.
Yep.
So
For sure.
other than that, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Share with your friends. Let them know, and we'll see you next week.